Hi, my loves. It's Elise with Wild Moon Woman, and today I will be talking about the tarot decks that I plan to use in 2017. So again, this is like super hard to choose, so I have like 25 decks in front of me. So I hope you're cozy. I hope you're comfortable. We're going to be here a while if you want to watch all this. So yeah, it's hard to decide because I want to work with all my decks. I have a few specific systems that I want to work with, and I also want to give attention to the decks that I didn't necessarily work with that much last year. So without further ado, let's just get started. I will always and forever work with the Rider-Waite-Smith. Likewise, the Morgan... Oh my God, I just dropped them everywhere. Morgan Greer is a constant reading companion. The Tarot of the Crone is one that I always work with and will continue to do so. It's so special to me, and I heard it's going to be reprinted along with the Dark Goddess Tarot, so yay for everybody. The Lumina Tarot, and I've just pulled out a few of my favorites from each of these decks just so you can see like kind of what I love about them. The Lumina Tarot first edition is one of my favorites. It wasn't always that way, but it certainly is now, and I cannot imagine not reading with this year. So there's that one. Also, the Star Child Tarot first edition, I didn't really use it that much this year. I know I used it for some full moon readings like in the springtime of 2016, but otherwise I didn't really use it, and I don't know why. I think I just was working with so many other decks. But I freaking love this deck. I took it out the other day because I felt drawn to use it for one of my client readings. And it was so amazing, and I was like, why don't I use this more? I love it so much. And I had the Akashic edition as well. I ended up trading it because I always was more drawn to work with the first edition. I just love the first edition. Not that there's anything wrong with the second Akashic edition. It's beautiful also, but I don't know. I think because I had already bonded with this one so much, I just adore it. So I'm definitely going to be spending more time with this baby. The next one that you know is one of my old faithfuls is the Osho Zen Tarot. I didn't really work with this a lot this year. I mean, I did some, but not as much as I had in previous years. And I want to work with it again, and I actually have it on my altar right now. But I love this deck. This was my first tarot deck. So nostalgic. The other one that I did not work with a lot last year, but I love to death, is the Mary L, which I have trimmed and edged in black. I don't know why I didn't really work with it. I love it, and I'm going to use it again this year. I think it's just a matter of like them getting put away, and if they're put away really well, they just don't come back out because I have other ones that are more in my face, so I'll just grab them first. Elle from Sacred Seed is doing videos on this deck, and it like totally inspires me to work with it more. I love it when I see videos on decks I already have because I'm like, oh my God, I have that. I want to take it out and play with it. So there's that one. The Anna K Tarot, I love and will be working with. I don't really want to spend a ton of time talking about these because there's so many to go through. But, I mean, I've talked about almost all of them before, so I just love them. I can't explain it. The other one is the Wildwood Tarot. I really bonded with this in 2016 last year, and I've just been enjoying it so much. I like the keywords. I like that it's non-traditional. I like that it makes you look at the cards in a different light. And besides, the artwork is gorgeous. It's very earthy, very practical, very neutral. So it's not like very emotionally charged, and it's also not confronting either. So this is a really good deck for me. What, I guess, okay, also the Pagan Otherworlds. I got it towards the fall of 2016. And I didn't really work with it. Honestly, I was so excited, so hyped to get it. I bought a wooden box for it. I was like treating it like a precious baby because it really is so gorgeous and so luscious. The cardstock is just like, oh my God, it feels so good in the hand. It shuffles so beautifully. And then I just didn't use it. Why? I don't know. I think I was just like, I don't know. I was so in love with it that I didn't want to take it out. That makes no sense. So I've been using it for the last couple weeks, and I love it just as much as ever. Like I knew I would. So I really want to work with it more this year. Another one is the Aquarian Tarot. This is from the 70s. This is like a 70s edition, as you can see by the box. Here's the backing. I really like these cards. I have not been called to like super drawn to work with them. I am always like so drawn to like pull them out of the box and look at them. But as far as actually doing readings, I've only done a few. So I really want to explore it this year. Because I'll take it out probably like once a week and just look through the images. And I'm like, oh yeah, these are so beautiful. But to actually do readings with it, I haven't been drawn to do that. So I do want to learn and bond with this baby this year. The Margaret Peterson Tarot is also one that I got last year, and I did a few readings with it, which were totally profound. The little white book for this deck is so poetic, so beautiful. As you can see, the artwork is so abstract. This is a very meditative deck. This is a deck of comfort for me. If something is going like really wrong, like really bad, I will come to this deck. It's just so beautiful. Yet for me, I know it's going to require time and just like lots of time spent with it to bond. So I do want to devote myself to that this year because I think it's worth it. It's just so gorgeous. What else? The Serpent Fire Tarot is, you guys know my love for this. It's also more abstract. Definitely not Rider-Waite-Smith or Thoth or anything like that. The book meanings are written more towards Rider-Waite-Smith, but the imagery is totally out there. So I want to spend a lot of time with this one this year, just getting really intimate with it. I've done quite a few readings with it, but I always use the book, which is fine. I love the book. I love the way it's written. That's like part of the experience for me, but I also want to develop my own bond with the cards and just get a lot closer to it. So that's the Serpent Fire. Love it. The next one that I want to get to know better is the Hesychos Tarot. It's such a cute deck. It's independently produced. Here's the backing. It's really adorable. It's based on the fairies, the fae, and little gnome creatures, I guess. I don't know. It's so cute though. And it really speaks to my inner child. It's a really good reader. Like, it's easy to read. I don't use it a lot in like client readings because I feel like it can be seen as like kind of a little bit maybe too childish, which I don't think is a bad thing. I love it. I just want to make sure that my clients, you know, I don't know. I want them to feel like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not quite serious enough for me to do in client readings unless they were specifically asking for this type of deck or like an inner child type reading. But that being said, I love this deck. I love the artwork. I want to use it more for myself. I probably will do some inner child work with it this year. It's great for like weekly readings and things of that nature. It's just such a cute, beautiful deck, and I want to use it more. The next one is the Merry Day Tarot. This one I'm actually working with on my altar right now, and this is a cool deck. I trimmed this way down. It was a lot bigger. Here's the backing. It has like different keywords on the bottom. Whoa. Not only do the titles have different names, like this is the High Priestess, is renamed Oracle, but then there's also a keyword underneath each of those. So this one is intuitive. And it also had below that some numerology, which didn't really make sense to me. Didn't resonate with it. It was too much information on the card, so I cut that off, as well as the top and side borders. But it's a really beautiful deck. Like this one says, this is the Moon card, and it says healer and cyclical. And there is a lot of detail in these cards. It's multicultural. The cups are, I believe, like Native American, Indigenous. I don't know if all the suits have one racial or ethnic theme, but there are a variety of ethnicities represented. So here's the Nine of Cups, wishes realized. The Six of Wands is victory. So it is a very inclusive deck, which I love. Emperor, stability. I like the keywords. Tower, self-awakening. The keywords are often very empowering on the more difficult cards. There's like a couple of elemental cards and different things going on in the court system. So the Spring Warrior, I believe, are the pages. And this is renewal. And there is a card that explains like what they correlate to. Four of Swords, meditation. But I don't hear a lot about this deck. I know Katie Flowers has it and likes it, and I just really love it. Metamorphosis, regeneration. The artwork is so beautiful. Journeyman, which is the Wheel of Fortune, change, movement. Oh, here's one. The Eight of Swords I got the other day. The Eight of Swords, you know, that's usually like being trapped and stuff. This says sense awareness. And he's like figuring out where he's at by using his other senses because he's blindfolded. How cool is that? The other one I want to get to know better, which I got last year, I think in the summertime, is Daughters of the Moon. And here's the backing. This is a very feminist goddess deck, very inclusive, very beautiful, has a variety of different women's body types and ethnicities. The artwork is just gorgeous. Lots of boobies. And I love it. I'll probably be working with this in the springtime. So we all know that I want to work with the Thoth system. Talked about this before, Tabula Mundi Coloris. This is the deck that I will be primarily using to work with the Thoth system, as well as the actual original Thoth deck. But I just got this deck, so of course I want to explore it and learn it more. So I will be focusing probably most of my studies with this deck. It's gorgeous. Like, it is just super beautiful. I love the cup suit. It has a lot of moons in it. It's my favorite out of this whole deck. The Queen of Cups. Eight of Wands. Princess of Cups. The Hermit. And this badass Empress right here. I love her. Golden Thread Tarot. This is the second edition. This is the one with the plastic cardstock. So the cardstock is completely bendy and will never get damaged because it's plastic. You can't like ruin it with water or food. You can just wipe it right off. It doesn't bend. It's just amazing. And it has this amazing gold foiling on each of the cards. The sides are blackened because it's black plastic, so you don't have to do anything to it. It's just so gorgeous. This is the Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands. So hard to capture on video because of the lighting, but It's so pretty. 10 of Cups, Queen of Cups, Ace of Swords, 9 of Pentacles. It's just like, it's a sensory delight to work with this deck. It's like shiny, yay. High Priestess. The High Priestess is cool. She has a bunch of eyes in her dress. And then the 2 of Pentacles. Those are some of my favorites. The Aura Soma Tarot. We know how much I love this. I know I've talked about it like excessively lately, so I am sorry. I'll just show a few cards in case anybody didn't see this before. But I am so stoked and happy to work with this deck, and will be working with it a ton this year. Towards the fall, one of my favorite fall decks that I used last year was the Dark Fairy Tale Tarot, which is just like your basic Lo Scarabeo deck. I don't know, I just really enjoyed the colors and like the gothicness of it during October and like November. It is definitely a darker deck. Like there's a lot of crying and like hints of violence. Like I don't think there's any outright violence, but like blood and swords and things like that. Look at her. She's fierce. That's the Strength card. 8 of Swords. So yeah, I really liked working with this last year, and I'm looking forward to working with it again during the fall and like Samhain season. And then I think the last 2 are, I just want to make sure I don't forget any. Yeah, the last 2 I wanted to save because these are so like, I thought that I was done working with the Wild Unknown. I had the first edition. I just never would connect with it. I never could read with it. And then I sold it, and then the mass-produced edition came out. And the first thing that I said was, ooh, I really like the fact that the cardstock is thinner, because I could never shuffle the first edition. And so I was like, yeah, I want to experience that cardstock, which is everything that I hoped it would be and more. It is amazing. So I'll just show you some of my favorites. And then I started just seeing it everywhere, because it is everywhere. And I've been like, oh my God, I want to work with it again. It's so beautiful. Like it started speaking to me. The images just started to talk. And I was like, wow, I did not expect that. I literally never thought that I would work with it again. And yet here we are. I bought the mass-produced edition, and I'm so excited to work with it again. So yeah, yay, Wild Unknown. I never ever would have expected that. The other one that I thought that I was never going to be able to form a bond with, I had almost given up. Like I've had a few really good, insightful readings with it, but for the most part, I was never drawn to use it. It didn't really speak to me that much, that deeply. The Chrysalis Tarot, and lately it has been yelling at me. Like I just see it and it's so good. Like it really just, I get it now. I don't know, maybe my soul just wasn't ready before and now it is, but I am so, so excited. Because I've always loved the artwork. It has always been such a stunning deck for me. And I've wanted, this is my favorite card in the whole deck. I wanted to use it so much, and I just never connected, and that made me so sad. So yay. It's crazy how our relationships with decks can change over time. So that was all of them. I'm sure there will be others. I'm sure I will work with other decks. I do intend to work with all my decks, but these are the ones that I specifically just felt like bringing out and saying, yes, I have the intention of working with these, and hopefully that does come to pass. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later.